Welcome back to the FCI London podcast, where we sit down with some of London's most influential luxury designers to explore the stories and inspiration behind their work. I am your host, Imke Dutoy, and today I am joined by none other than Philippa Sale, founder and creative director of Philippa Interiors, an Oxfordshire-based studio known for its thoughtful, practical, and beautifully tailored design work. Since launching her business in 2012, Philippa has worked across residential, commercial, and investment-focused projects, bringing a unique blend of creativity, hands-on property experience, and an eye for both functional and style. Her approach is grounded, it is client-focused, and driven by real-world usability, making her one of the most versatile designers in the industry. Philippa, it's really lovely to have you here today. Welcome to FCI London podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm very touched to be invited. Thank you.
It's only a pleasure. So, Philippa, we're just going to jump straight in, and I'm going to start by looking at the designer behind the studio. What's the one belief you've had to unlearn to become the designer you are today?
Well, one of the things that I'd really learnt quite early on that I shouldn't push my style on clients. Now, a lot of interior designers have very specific designs and styles, and that's why some people go to them, but that's not us. So what we really wanted to do, and what I've created in Philippa Interiors, is helping clients to find their own style. And we do that by doing a color psychology questionnaire with them and style psychology session. And we really get to understand them. We listen to everything that they love and they need. And then we design the house around them, which is much more important to me.
Absolutely. No, I think that's exceptional. Having a little bit of a, like you said, a psychology session, getting to know your clients in and out, what they like, what they dislike, and really finding, I think, the soul of that person.
Complete.
I know intimate spaces is a business very few designers would dare to start. What pushed you to create a studio that openly blends sensuality, well-being, and interiors?
Yes. So we have Philippa Interiors as our vanilla business, we should call it, but we recently set up our spicy business, Intimate Spaces. And Intimate Spaces is more about creating a beautiful, sensual space for women to play in, preferably in their home, also for hotels as well. But they're not dungeons. They're not overtly sex rooms. They're beautiful, sensual environments that stimulate all the senses. And there's a massive gap in the market. We're actually the only people in the country doing this. So our clients are worldwide. They're not just UK based, and because there are many people doing it. And it's all about honoring women and their sexuality and basically getting them to reconnect with their partners. Because I feel that at certain stages in women's lives that we disconnect with our loved ones and our intimacy and our sexuality. And I wanted to create a space that helped reignite that again in people. And funnily enough, all the men I speak to think it's a wonderful idea as well as the women. So it's a win situation for everyone.
Yes, no, absolutely. I think that's really, really incredible, and finding a very different niche in the market that, as you say, is very important. I think life is so incredibly busy that we, lose sight of that and lose track of that. So I think that's quite incredible, creating those spaces where you can reconnect, as you say, and being the only people in the business doing it is really fantastic. If the entire interior industry were forced to work with transparent pricing, would it elevate the profession or expose the cracks a bit?
I think it would elevate the profession. In fact, we already do it already, and we always have done. So in our proposals that we do, we already have a page dedicated to what we do with procurement. So if we get a trade discount, we offer our clients up to 10% on the retail value. If we don't have a trade discount, which is quite rare, to be honest, we then just add a 5% markup. But our clients know this. And then this extra cost is just literally covers the admin, the running costs, and the problems that happen, because things do break that get delivered. Things do need returning. So it just covers our time to help cover anything that goes wrong. So we have software which we use called Programmer, which is fantastic. It shows these markups, it shows the discounts, it shows the sale prices and everything clearly on it. So it's always visible to the client. And I mean, sometimes we do get a really good trade discount with some clients, with some trades, 40%. So we do make a bit more money on it, but sometimes we only get 10%. So it swings and roundabouts.
I think that's also fantastic, like you said, as well, as that the client always is aware, it's always transparent. and sort of is that joint collaboration, making sure everyone's on the same page, which is great.
Yeah. There is one problem we're coming across though.
Hmm.
Some suppliers now are giving membership prices to
Okay.
their clients. So I won't name names, but it means they're undercutting us. So there's a couple of really big furniture companies out there that we love to use, but
Hmm.
their trade price is the same as the membership price, and the client only has to pay about £200 to get that membership price.
Okay.
So then our client goes, well, we don't need you. We'll go and buy it directly from them.
Now, I can imagine it can be quite challenging. And then how do you deal with that? And being
Mm.
able to swing your clients to still work with you. Have you had to adjust? I mean, speaking before, you said that you have to adjust your pricing or your positioning or processes to justify your value in the market. But do you think you needed to do that because the market's increasingly commoditized by Pinterest, AI, and influencers?
Yes, I would say that because of this, sometimes we're spending less time and we're spending a bit more time. So what we've
Sure.
done is we've embraced these tools. They've really helped the
Okay.
business, and sometimes they really help me speed up things. So for example, Pinterest, I love it. I get my
Yes.
clients to send me all their Pinterest boards, especially like if I'm doing a young teenager's bedroom or something like that. Biggest Pinterest boards you've ever had. And it's
I
one
can imagine.
go through. Yeah, it's great fun. So I say, share your Pinterest boards with us. We use it as a visual data storage. So as we're going along looking for things for clients, so maybe we're looking for a light, so we'll just put a whole load of lights in a Pinterest pin, which is all about lighting, and then we share the boards as well with the clients and go, are we on track? Is this the kind of thing you're looking for? So it's a brilliant source and software. So it's essential now to our process. AI, of course, who doesn't love AI? He helps me
Yes,
refine.
yeah.
He helps
Mm,
me tag my admin. He's actually my other boyfriend. We're having a relationship and I love him very dearly. Yeah, so I mean, it's so useful. The
absolutely.
visualization side, I don't feel they're there yet for me
Mm, mm,
and for what we do. But say, for example, I'm really struggling to find a picture of a cabinet that we're going to design for the client and there's nothing out there.
mm,
It's unique. I can ask AI to try and render it and we
yes.
can get a look and then we'll take it into Photoshop and add the knobs
Okay.
and the finishes that we want. So it does save us time. So that's really useful. And then
Sure.
influencers, well, they're good for us in the end of the day, aren't they? We follow them, we learn from them, we get promoted by them.
Yes.
So they're all new tools to enhance what we offer, and they
Mm,
don't replace our expertise, and they're just part of the problem solving thing, aren't they? They're part of project management. They can't
absolutely.
do project management, they can't create the spaces, they can't work in real
Yes.
life, and they don't understand our clients, but they're
Mm,
just useful tools.
absolutely. And they just to obviously enhance the processes as well, as you said, as well, creating a little bit more of time management and efficiency. And we have to get used to it. It is here. I mean, the life of AI is, vastly and rapidly growing. And and social media and connecting in that sort of space. So it's wonderful to know that you've embraced it as well and using it as the tools that it is to create.
Yeah, I do a lot of courses on AI, and I'm
Mm,
constantly learning. I'm trying to learn about new softwares, and I heard about Crystal No, and basically you can send it your client's LinkedIn profile, and it can come back to
okay.
you and tell you everything
Mm.
about your client and if they're a right fit for you.
That's quite incredible, actually.
So
Just it
I
also
think
then streamlines that. Now I'm just going to move on a little bit to the craft, I mean, and the industry and the truth behind luxury interior designers and luxury interiors. I mean, how do you feel when a client compares your services to a budget AI tool or Instagram inspiration?
so for our Flipper Interiors business, which is our vanilla business, we often do a lot of cabinetry, built-in stuff. So
Mm.
it's quite common: bars, bookcase, media units. For intimate spaces, slightly different because everything is very bespoke made, because we're actually
Sure.
considering cabinetry that holds intimate toys so that they can
Mm.
be charged, ready to go. Wall hung cabinets to display whips and floggers like art. And also, when you're designing furniture for an adult playroom, you want everything to fit the size of the person and for them to
Sure.
be comfortable. and the height and the weight. So when you're designing St Andrew's crosses and swings and intimate chaises and spanking stalls, you really want them to really be comfortable, because actually they need comfort and safety. And if they want
Mm.
pain, it should be directed exactly where they want it, not from the badly made furniture. So our process is we basically get samples made first to test construction and comfort. We collaborate always with every maker that we're working with, and they love that. They'll come back to us and say, have you thought about this? Have you considered
Sure.
this? And we'll work with them. And we don't dictate. It's very much a process of growing and testing, but they love our attention to details because we're really into that. They love the fact that we come up with something unique and designed specifically to make somebody happy.
That's
And then we have
beautiful.
people that will install of these that especially know about hard points and say, for example, if something's being hung on the ceiling, you need to make
Mm.
sure the ceiling is strengthened and everything like that. And then all the fabrics we use are wonderfully practical. They don't just look beautiful and feel amazing. They're actually wipe cleanable as well.
That's
So
beautiful, yes.
functionality and beauty for real life, not just for photos, is what we say.
No, absolutely. I would absolutely agree. And everything needs to be bespoke and custom made to that person, as you said as well, with
Yeah.
very, specifics, personal specifics as well, which is fantastic. Do you think intimacy centered design will remain a niche trend, or will it shape mainstream residential design over the next decade, let's say?
Well, for me, I hope it stays for a niche for a while, but I think everything to do with sexuality is getting more open at the moment. People are talking more about it. There's
Yes.
much more openness about people's pleasure. I think it won't mean that people will necessarily have dedicated playrooms. I mean, we do
Mm,
these mostly for high-end clients and hotels,
okay.
but it doesn't mean that you can't make your bedroom and your bathroom a little bit more sexy. You can have better lighting control. You can make the room more of a place to worship in, if you know what I mean, rather than a dumping ground for your washing and the
Absolutely.
ironing. And it's about saving that space and having mood lighting, candles, beautiful fabrics. When you come to the room that the bed's made, and
Mm,
understanding that for a man to be able to help inspire his partner to be aroused, the room
mm,
has to be a certain way. We don't particularly like it when there's a pile of washing or ironing on the floor. It's not really conducive to being turned on sometimes. So I think what's happening is gradually, and also again, the privacy and intimacy, it's about
mm,
concerning of sound and things like that. So we work with sound insulation as well. So the conversation's all about well-being,
mm.
self-care, opening doors, talking about it, and then also becoming, yeah, intimacy becoming part of the conversation, talking about it, not hiding it
Absolutely.
away behind closed doors.
And I think a lot of people, I still find, are not that open to talk about. I'm glad that people are starting to talk about it because they should. It's part of everyday life, and it should be something that is comfortable. Like you say, create a space where you can feel the most comfortable and vulnerable and sensual within that space. And it's wonderful that you create those moments and those spaces, and every little detail is, taken into consideration to be able to create that feeling and that emotional space.
Yeah.
And I'm now going to jump into something a little bit of a fun element. It's a little bit of different kinds of questions. So I'm going to just quickly fire one. A design cliche you'd happily find people to use. If you had a design
Oh,
cliche.
there's so many. Where do I start? I
Well,
know.
you fire away.
You know those signs where they have live, laugh, love, or all those signs that sort of tell you what to mass produce signs, which they tell you what to do. You know, you
Mm,
shouldn't be instructed on how to live your life. I mean, they were fun when they first came out, but no, I'm not putting one of those up, and especially if I just sign and that went up on the wall. I think I'd have to walk out of the house very quickly.
noted. But yes, no, I think I do agree. I mean, it was a big thing when it first, the massive trend when it came out.
Yeah, I'm a,
Okay, one thing you wish every new designer knew one day,
can I say two?
or knew on day one. So one thing you wish every new designer knew on day one.
I've got two ones because I want to, but I would say the most important one is listening.
Okay.
It's just if I'd known to listen rather than just come out with the answers straight away, just
Yes.
listen. We have to, but there is one other thing I want to add. make sure
Sure.
you get your contracts and payment terms sorted out on day one. If you're running a
Absolutely.
business, protect
Very
yourself.
important. I think those are two really, really great points you're making, listening and making sure that your contracts and terms and conditions are completely ironed out. No, absolutely. Okay. If you had 10 seconds to change the industry's mindset, what's that message?
This
It's
one
a bit
might
of a
be
different,
controversial, this one.
a little bit.
Stop designing for Instagram. Start designing for real life, please.
You wanted to see the designs come to life and not just sit on a social platform. No, I think I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
these younger people think that that's what they can get as well. And they've
Mm,
got FOMO that they don't have a house like this. They don't have this. And, you
yes.
need a bit more realism.
Sure. If you could redesign any historic monument in the world, which one would you choose?
Well, one of my favorite buildings is Buckingham Palace. And I had the absolute pleasure to go there once to a garden
Mm,
party of the Duke of Edinburgh Award. And it's amazing. And the ceiling heights are incredible. And the artwork, I mean, you're literally
mm,
around some of the most famous artists' work
mm,
everywhere. And then you look
sure.
down and the carpets were all a little bit tatty and torn at the
Mm,
edges. And the wallpaper's a little bit tired and faded. And there's this real faded grandeur.
mm, mm.
And the chairs are really uncomfortable as well. And there's
Can you
so
imagine?
much artwork on the wall that you can't see that that's a Rembrandt because it's crowded with other Rembrandts around it
Mm,
or other designs. And you're thinking,
mm,
I mean, of course, it wouldn't be the staterooms that you would redesign, but maybe the private family quarters. It would be
mm.
lovely to give comfort and
Yeah.
practicality and put one beautiful big picture so that they can actually really admire it. So it sings in its space
Yes.
and then go back and find some of the old beautiful fabrics and wallpapers and work with them.
Very. It's absolutely lovely. That would be a phenomenal, phenomenal project. So maybe,
Yes, it would be. I think
maybe
also
one day, you know.
I think also they could do the playroom as well.
You should write to them and see what they say. Let's move into a little bit talking about trends and, clients and where the industry is really heading. I mean, younger clients prioritize sustainability and practicality, while the older clients lean towards investment luxury. Which group is currently reshaping your workflow the most and why?
So for me, I don't think this divide is, I think this divides more talk than reality in my personal experience because
Okay. Hmm.
lots of younger clients do talk about sustainability, but in the whole
Don't.
time I've been working in 15 years, I've never been asked, apart from one time with paint colors, for
Yeah.
sustainable materials, for products that are eco-friendly
Hmm.
or haven't traveled too far or anything like that. Any client, any age, never been asked for it.
Never been
So
off. Sure.
no, so they talk about it, but it hasn't
Hmm.
actually.
Do you think perhaps expect that it would just be sustainable materials that are being used, perhaps that maybe they don't bring it in? It's quite strange. You would think they
I
would have
would
asked if they thought about it.
no, it's usually the priority is, um, what's the price? Can I get it
Okay.
tomorrow? And is it going to fit? Those are like the top three
Sure.
things. Yeah, sustainable. Or, I mean, I know where things come from. I can research it. I know I often do choose from suppliers that I would say were more ethically
Mm,
aligned with our values, but I wouldn't say that my clients have actually specified it. So, yeah. And then regarding my older clients, they tend to prioritize practicality. So they've lived with pets and
mm,
children. They
sure.
know things get ruined easily and they want wipe cleanable fabrics. They want bleach cleanable
Mm,
carpet. They want things that are going to last. And luxury can be included in that. But I'd actually
mm,
say luxury was more the sort of desire of the younger people because of Instagram and because of
sure.
what we spoke about earlier with all
Mhm.
the people talking on socials about you should
Yes.
have a home like this. So they
Yeah.
have this thing for the luxury brands where I'd say,
Mm,
my more older clients are more to do with value for money and
yeah.
something that's really and classical and lasts for a long time.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess you're talking about expectations and realistic expectations, as you were saying as well at the younger clients. Expectations aren't always as realistic as you would then maybe compare it to obviously your older clients who have, as you said, family and pets and kids and looking to rather make a valuable investment that lasts a long time rather than
Yeah.
the younger generation wanting everything now and quickly and on a silver platter exactly what they saw.
And also with the luxury items, they're the younger people are more likely to say, "Oh yeah, I'm happy to have a cream sofa," and where my older clients will go, "I'm never having a cream sofa. That's like the worst thing I could ever have. We're not having a cream sofa."
Yes.
So, but what we do with our color psychology questionnaire is that we really understand what people's
Mm,
understand they like, what colors make them happy, what textures make them happy, what's important to them. And
sure.
the questionnaires we give them an idea of budgets for each room, and they come back to
Mm,
us. And you know, all my clients are budget conscious. It doesn't matter whether they
sure.
live in a £500,000 house or a £15.5 million apartment in London. They're
Sure. Yes. Guess you
But
need
it's
to
not
be a
amazing.
net investment.
Yeah.
As conversations around sexuality and well-being become more open globally, do you think interior designers need new ethical guidelines when designing personal spaces?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I think they do. I
Mm,
think when we do our proposals for our intimate spaces clients, we'd say to them, everyone that works on this project and comes in on the site will sign an NDA. It's really
good, yeah,
important. We try
sure.
we try to create environments where clients feel really comfortable, really
Mm,
safe with us. I'm very open, but what
mm,
I do with my intimate spaces clients is that I get them to speak to a sex coach or a intimacy coach,
mm,
and that way um, they can then really talk openly, and then she can share with me anything they've allowed us to share. It just stays within the design team, but that's usually to do with designing their room. So they've
mm,
said, we've never tried this. We'd love it if Philippa could make some furniture to try that.
mm,
So we do this sort of secrecy bubble going, and safety and security, because, when you're opening up to this sort of thing, you are very vulnerable and it comes with a responsibility. So yeah, that's really important. And then we have practical things where we try to take care on site, who goes on site, who's building the installation. And I prefer to have maybe older people working on these projects who understand that aren't going to take photographs and share it on socials and everything. When it comes to building these kinds of rooms, some of our clients don't actually want anyone to know that that room is there. So we
mm.
do total soundproofing for the room, and we do hidden doors as well. So Murphy doors where it looks like a cupboard or a picture or something like that, just slides away, and, and then inside's your little secret room. So yeah, we try to keep it as private, and um, but some people are quite happy. Everybody's different. Yeah, it's good. But, yeah, but with the industry, I think it would be good if people could start opening up about these things, not giggling about it. That it's now starting to become a bit normal. So
Sure.
yeah, so maybe we need an ethical place for designing
Mm.
private spaces for sensitivity and discretion. So yeah,
I agree, and I think it's definitely needed. As you said, making sure that the design team does sign those non-disclosure agreements. Making sure that the client's privacy still stays private. Um, and I can imagine that it really is top priority as well, because you said making the clients feel safe, making them feel comfortable. And, as you said, hopefully it will get to a point where everyone's a lot more comfortable and open to talk about it or to work on projects like this as well without, as you said, giggling or taking photos of it or making clients feel uncomfortable because they are, openly exploring new spaces within their own homes. So I think that's fantastic that you and your team do make sure that that is the top priority when working with your clients. I'm going to swing a little bit back again to AI and technology. I know it's always one of those conversations, but I mean, are you concerned or excited about AI tools being used for visualization and layout planning or even color palette generation?
I'm excited. I mean, what's not to love about it all? It's just, I mean, I'm very lucky. I've belong to a business coaching team and we regularly have updates on what's new in AI. Yeah, the
Yes.
tech. So I don't want to be left behind. I mean, if I get left behind, what's going to happen? So I think they're going to be brilliant for visualizing for me. I think we're going to be able to get almost photographic real images. So my clients will be able to stand better, probably get even videos. But I think you still have to give it the information to be able to do it. So we still have to, as humans, feed the monster. Wonderful for people that don't have the budgets. So anyone that would love to work with an interior designer and can't, that's going to be fabulous for them because they will be able to do so much in their own home. And I'm really pleased for people like that because, why should only the rich people have interior designers? It will solve problems faster, but it's not, they can't still visit the space, understand how it feels, see the light
Sure.
moving through the day, calm the
Yes.
clients when they're anxious, sort out the builders, make judgment calls when things go wrong. And the builder
Yes.
goes, sorry, we've got to take that wall down. So
Yes.
it's just enhancing what we do, not replacing it.
But I do agree. It's really lovely to also see, you being so energized and excited about, what it's going to offer moving forward. And I really hope people do jump in on that as well, because as you said, these tools are really there to enhance and to help. And then you get to create more projects because you can create projects quicker. Clients have a little bit more of a better idea of what they can see before it is, created within real time. So it's really wonderful to see that you are excited about how AI and technology is going to start moving within this interior design world. If you could say, what are the 5 irreplaceable human skills you think AI will never replicate? I mean, I know that we've touched on quite a few of them already. But if you had to think of really the top 5 irreplaceable human skills.
Definitely spatial awareness. And that is one of the skills that I know I have in bucket loads. Reading people, actually
Sure.
really reading facial expressions. When I do my color psychology with clients, I actually watch their faces as we're doing it. And so I'm writing down things. And when I'm asking them questions, I'm noting that, he doesn't like that. Okay, we'll keep
Mm,
problem solving but real time problem solving. When the builder calls you up and says, okay, this happened today, actually.
mm,
Toilet you chose to have a wall hung toilet. We can't have it now because the wall's not going to be able to do this. And the client wants it to be cheaper. What toilet do you want?
mm,
So and then relationship management,
absolutely.
really that one-to-one relationship with the builders, with the decorators, the plumbers, with the client, everyone, with their dog, is it. And then the one thing that I don't think AI will ever be able to do is know when to break the rules.
Oh, definitely. When to just build it and bend it and change direction whenever, very quickly. That's a like, do you think top design schools are adapting fast enough to prepare the next generation of designers for tech-led futures?
Well, interesting enough, we actually had an intern work with us this
Okay.
summer. So she was with us
Mm,
for a month. And actually, she was fabulous. So I actually hired her for the whole summer, actually, and
okay.
cried when she left. But
Sure.
um, she was actually, I felt she was very good on her tech and her software and being up to date with everything there. Absolutely
Mm,
fantastic. The problem I found was being a high end company, a company that works often to buying high end purchases.
mm,
She had no reference to how to buy where to buy expensive lights or
mm,
things. She had
mm,
no relevant experience. So she had no practical experience. She had no practical experience running projects, managing clients. She was really good at doing beautiful presentations, rendering
yeah.
the tech. She understood a lot of
Mm,
what we did, but the actual practical everyday running of the
mm,
business, I didn't feel that came over in what she'd learnt at university. And she was an interior architect, so she was highly skilled
yes.
and very, very good. And I probably will hire her next year when she finishes her university
Mm,
course. But I think they need to do not just the software.
mm.
They need to work on real life jobs a bit more.
Absolutely. I think that's where it comes down to then the balance between AI and technology within the industry and going back to the basics as well. Because you do need to be able to balance the two. As you said, seeing that in real time, how that happened, exceptionally skilled from the tech side of things and, coming into actual practical experience that is lacking. So hopefully, the universities can get to a point to be able to actually balance the two. That yes, the tech is exceptionally important, but ultimately we have to go back to the basic of the practical experience of where it all actually started. And
Yeah.
just, in terms of from like closing off our conversation today, Philippa, there's been a noticeable exit of high net worth individuals from London. Have you felt this in your pipeline or project conversations?
Well, because we're actually Oxfordshire based, so we cover London and everything out to the
Yeah,
west of London. So Oxfordshire, Berkshire, Buckinghamshire, Hampshire, all around there.
mm,
We have found there has been a shift, but there are people coming out to my area, which is wonderful because they're actually
that's-
wanting bigger houses. They're wanting more space. They want garden.
mm,
They want parking space. I think they're realizing that the city isn't for them so much. They might have a smaller place in the city, but
mm,
keep the bigger house here. I do have some clients that are still buying in London, but they tend to be foreigners and they're for investment and just holiday places, really. So they're
mm,
not there off the time. But I still feel that they're investing. Do think quality over and value for money is still
sure.
very, very important. They do really value things that are going to last. They come to me because they want it done once, they want it done properly,
Mm,
and they don't
mm,
have to go through it again. Yes,
sure.
there's definitely a thing of sort of, I'm never going to build a house again after I've been done this.
Yes, yes, fantastic. And like you said, you go and you travel, creating these rooms in different spaces across the world, which is really, really phenomenal. I'm really interested to actually see what happens and to, see if this niche market and trend grows. I really hope that it does. And it's been absolutely lovely chatting to you today, Philippa. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, it's been exceptionally inspiring, just to listen to you about these intimate spaces and how you work with the clients and the time and the effort taken into creating these lovely spaces where people can feel comfortable and sensual and vulnerable, all kind of encompassed into one beautiful package, and keeping within that, luxury design, interior design elements as well is absolutely wonderful. And it's been great to hear you talk about how that shapes, thoughtful real world approaches to interiors, which is great, which is absolutely fantastic. So it's really been lovely chatting to you today.
It's been lovely to speak to you too. I've really enjoyed
Thanks.
it.
Thank you. And to all our wonderful listeners and watchers, thank you so much for joining us on FCI London podcast. Keep following and keep designing, and join us again as we continue our conversations with London's most influential luxury designers. And until next time, I'm Imke du Toit. Thank you so much.